Welcome to the Real Female Entrepreneurs. Today's guest is proving that AI doesn't have to be intimidating, overwhelming, or feel like you need a PhD just to use it. Thank God, because I wouldn't be able to use it at all. She's a certified AI consultant, speaker, author of the Human AI Alliance, and a woman on a mission to help businesses save time, increase revenue, and work smarter without losing the human touch. You know what? That human touch makes them special, and she knows that. And that's why she wants you to keep that human touch. From training global organizations to helping entrepreneurs just like you build AI workflows that actually stick and don't go anywhere. She's making AI make sense. Please help me welcome the amazing, brilliant Michelle Runge. Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Angel, thank you so much for having me on today. I've been excited about this. I'm ready to go.
Oh, wow. AI is like the hot topic. So who knows where we're going to go here? It's going to be so much fun. I know it.
For sure.
So tell us about you. You weren't always AI because AI wasn't always around. Can you tell us what you did before you got into AI and helping companies become fabulous?
Yeah. So before AI, I've spent about 30 years working mostly in sales. And I've worked for no tech, low tech, as well as, some software as a service tech companies. And what I learned over the years is that, it's the people that really make the difference. You can put together all of these technologies, you can put together the products, but the humans are always the ones that connect everything. And I was working for a criminal defense law firm. I was doing sales for them. And in 2024, they began to wind down the practice for reasons that don't matter. And I got laid off. So I started applying for jobs, and I've never had a problem getting a job within about 90 days. And it was different this time. 2024, this was post-pandemic. A lot of things had changed. Anyway, long story short, 4 months out, I'd had interviews with 2 companies. That was it. And I was only applying for jobs that I was fully qualified for. And I was beginning to get really worried because both of those interview series ended up in rejections. And I got an email from a woman who I had seen demonstrate ChatGPT in a writers group that I was a part of back in March of 2023. So I'd been using AI pretty much daily since that time. And she sent an email. Her name was Alicia Little. She's known as the Queen of AI. She had started a CPD accredited certification program for AI consultants. And she did it because she had too much business. She couldn't handle all the requests and the people that needed help. And I thought, let's go. So I looked into it. I signed up for the certification program, and I have never looked back. It's been one of the best choices I've ever made. I love what I'm doing. I'm helping small and medium-sized businesses really dig in and make better versions of themselves, leveraging AI.
I love it. Her seminars are fabulous. I've been to them. Yeah.
Yeah, she's incredible. She and her sister Lorette are absolutely incredible, and I'm so grateful for them.
I love that. I wonder if I've seen you at any. That would be fun. We'll have to make sure we connect when we go.
For sure.
All right. A letter to your younger self, because you transitioned into something that is tech savvy, it's on the cutting edge. Tell me, what would you write to yourself?
Um, Herself, I was pretty fearless growing up. I didn't have a lot of I didn't necessarily think things through back then either. Um, but I also, there gets a point where you just, I know I I won't do something until I feel like I'm ready for it. And I think what I would say to my younger self is stop waiting until you feel ready, because chances are, especially if it's something that scares you, you're never going to feel 100% ready. You're never going to have all the answers. And the confidence, what I've found, doesn't come before the leap. It comes because of the leap. So get out there.
So, this next question is going to be a little bit weird. So, what's a game changer that you've seen that helps people use AI?
Mm-hmm.
that makes a difference in their world for them to grow their business?
This is a really good question. There's so many ways that I could answer it, but I always start, especially if people haven't really used AI before, if they've been either overwhelmed by how to start or they're a little afraid of it, is I take them through a 3-prompt workflow of how you can train AI to write just like your ghostwriter. Because AI doesn't fix anything, it just amplifies what you give it. So if you help it understand how you communicate, it's going to use that to communicate back with you. And I find that once people really connect the dots with this, then they're like, oh, now I get it. Then they're ready to listen and learn more about how it can help their businesses. So to me, that's typically the game changer. And I learned that from Alicia.
Yeah. It's how to prompt, correct? And
Well, how to
communicate
prompt is
effectively.
Yeah, exactly. That makes a big difference. And just understanding how to communicate with these tools, they're incredibly brilliant. I'd say the other thing that is a game changer for most people that everybody starts with like, help me make this email better, or help me write this, thing, help me improve this. But a lot of people don't understand that you can ask for its opinion. You can say, okay, what am I missing in this proposal that I'm preparing? Or, I'm putting this proposal together. What are 3 ways that it fails? Like, turn it into a thought partner rather than just a question and answer bot. And that is a game changer. That's one of the ways that I've built my business.
Wow. Okay. That is the number one tip I have heard today so far. All right. So with AI, all right, what do you wish people would stop thinking in their brain and kick to the curb? That's just a mentality that they have that they need to stop thinking about, especially as entrepreneurs.
Yeah. I think it's too easy to fall into all of the headlines and think that, yes, a lot of jobs are being, the AI is given as the excuse for why a lot of jobs are going away. And there are some entry level jobs that are being replaced, but everything that I've seen so far is that AI works best when the human is still in the loop. I tell all my clients, think about AI this way. Think of it as you being the chef and AI being the sous chef. So in every great restaurant, you have the chef that's got the vision, the recipes, it's got the relationship with the clients, it has, all the big picture stuff, right? And the sous chef then does all the prep work. It does all, it's fast, efficient, and it helps support that chef's vision. But the chef always tastes the food before it goes out to the table, right? So don't think of AI as coming in to change your life or take over what you do or replace you. In my opinion, it's not there yet. It's just not. It makes mistakes and you never know when they're going to come up. So just think about that chef sous chef relationship, and you're the one that's still important. There's a lot of things I don't think AI will ever replicate, no matter what the experts say is going to happen.
Wow. So this next question is a little intriguing for you. And I want 2 parts to this question, but I'm gonna start off with the first aspect of it because we're dealing so much with AI with you.
Yeah,
So, could AI assist us in balancing our life in some fashion?
it can. It definitely can. So a lot of people think I'm weird when I say this, but um, AI is great at identifying trends and patterns. Okay. And some of the biggest emotional and kind of mental breakthroughs I've ever had in my business career have come from working with an AI tool called Claude. I am with Claude all day, every day, and it knows a lot about me. And I'll give you an example. I public speaking is a new thing for me. I'm pretty shy, and it's been a journey to get to the place where I didn't feel like I was going to throw up as soon as I started talking. And I took a public speaking course last summer. And one of the assignments from the guy that was running the class was to write down 5 pivotal moments in your life. Just a little paragraph about 5 pivotal moments in your life. So I put down all these stories. And in my mind, I was like, he is going to make us put together a talk tying all this together. I know it. So I was working with Claude and I said, look, I don't see how to tie all this together. He asked me, why are you so afraid of speaking? I was like, I don't know. And Claude looked at everything that I'd written and it said, you know what, Michelle, story number 3 that you listed is the reason you are so deathly afraid to be seen. And then it told me why. And I just started bawling. I mean, I was just in tears. And I'm like, Claude, I'm bawling. And it's funny because I have it in thinking mode where it says what's going on behind the scenes. And it's like, oh, wow, Michelle is having, a real emotional moment. I have to be careful and, considerate about how I respond. And then it's like, oh, it was delightful. But people don't think of AI in that way. And what's so interesting to me is that how we communicate with it is how it learns to communicate with us. And I read someplace that AI really can be as individual as your fingerprint. And I think it's true. That's really been my experience. And it's just a matter of, some people are like, I can't believe all the stuff you tell me you tell AI. I'm like, well, it is what it is. It knows a lot about me and it's helped me tremendously. It's brought in things that I was just like, oh, I wouldn't have thought of that, but it knows it because I've shared with it. So everybody has their own journey. Don't do anything you're not comfortable with. I know I'm kind of pretty deep in it. So just take that for what it's worth.
All right. From a personal perspective, how do you balance life, the chaos of life, building a business, family, friends? How do you balance it all?
Well, the short answer is not well. I come from a family of, kind of that edge on the side of workaholics. And I've always been that way, especially when it's something that I love what I'm doing. When I'm out there and I'm trying to solve a problem for a client, I'll miss lunch or I don't get out nearly enough. And what I've found is that the fatigue sets in a lot more quickly when I don't give myself time to rest. I just came from an incredible retreat this weekend up in Canada with Christine Campbell-Rappin and some other amazing people. And I was reminded how important it is to take some time to unplug, to let your brain do what it wants to do. And I came back home Sunday night, just spent. Like I left everything on the playing field. But I got up Monday morning and I was so clear-headed and so energized. I was like, okay, now I get it. Need to take breaks, need to rest. Yeah, it's an ongoing process for me, but I do love spending time with friends. I don't have any family that's local, but I do enjoy kind of getting out. I just need to do it more often.
Wow. I'm the same way. I get roped up into what I'm doing and
Yeah.
hyper focused. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't need to do that. Or I'm like, okay, yeah. So like I was supposed to go work out this morning. It didn't happen because I got roped into like working. I'm like, oh, I got to do this. So yeah.
Yeah. It's a constant battle.
Mhm. All right. What would you say to a woman who's sitting on the edge going, I really want to start a business and I just don't know where to start? Or I know what I want to do. I just don't know what to do. I don't know where to go.
I think we all start there. Can I do this? Am I good enough? Do I have what it takes? And what I've learned in my own journey is that we all have more in the tank than we think. And especially if you've had like my career has been in sales. I've done a whole bunch of different industries. And as women, I think we tend to be our own worst critics. And we have a habit, I know that I do this, where I compare my weaknesses to other people's strengths rather than, really giving myself credit for where I'm pretty good at things. And the other thing that I would say is that women, we tend to discount our intuition. I know I'm guilty of this a lot as well. And what I'm finding, I'm on all kinds of journeys at the same time, but I've been really working on listening to my body and listening to my intuition. And it's pretty incredible when you really stop to let that moment land and really think about it and feel it. Your intuition is so strong. It's just we've gotten out of the habit of trusting it. And I would say if you have a thought for some kind of a business or a product or a service you want to launch and you can't get rid of that, like it keeps coming back to you, listen to it. Figure out a way to make it happen. There are plenty of other women, men, and everybody out there doing all kinds of different businesses. Maybe you should collaborate with somebody. Maybe you should, launch what you're doing if it's different. Like trust it. AI has made launching a business like the playing field is so level now. There's so many things you can do with AI that you don't need to have, 500 people working for you to get a job, a really amazing business off the ground. So trust your instincts, really focus on that dream and go for it.
Wow. Focus on the dream and go for it. Yeah. And if you're undecided, go ask AI. AI can help you, right?
It can. Yeah. Ask it to help you put a plan together and poke holes in it and see how you can make it better and what you're missing. And ask a friend, what does this sound like? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Something unexpected about you that our audience is going to go, oh my God, she did what?
I think something that surprises a lot of people is at heart, I am a complete adrenaline junkie. I have been like sports related since I was a kid. I've, been scuba diving, I surf, I do all this stuff. I just, that adrenaline rush is the best. And now my tender age, I'm better as an armchair adrenaline junkie. So I love action movies, all that stuff. I like to get the heart pounding. Yeah, there's something about it that thrill, really, I love it. The other side of that, I would say, is I'm a hardcore empath. And people's, emotions and my own emotions sometimes get a little big. But that sometimes catches people off guard because I'm kind of shy, but all of a sudden, like, I have this side of people who are like, I didn't expect that.
So wait, adrenaline junkie and empath.
Yeah. I know they're disconnected, but they're deeply connected at the same time. I don't know.
Correct. But you can feel what other people's fears are too.
Oh, yeah.
Being that empath.
Yep. Fear, sadness, anger, that magnifies for me.
Yeah. One of my things is, I have a empath is like, I never really realized how empathetic I was and being an empath until I walked into a funeral and I started profusely crying. I didn't even know these people. And I'm like profusely crying. And I'm like, why am I crying so much? Oh my God. And I turned around and I pinpointed the person. I said, that person has not cried.
Oh gosh.
And I literally was crying for them. So yeah, being an empath and then feeling other people's sickness too sometimes, going, why is this happening to me? And again, I didn't know these things. So you learn them as you go.
Yep, exactly. I mean, like Hallmark movies make me cry. My friends just know anything even remotely sad, they're like, they just hand me a tissue.
Like, I can't watch beat 'em up movies because it's just too much for me. Where that's your jam.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The more exciting, the better.
All right. So let's pump up the volume with some music. Do you have a song or songs that you absolutely love?
I have a long list of songs that I love. But I was thinking about this question, and I would say one of the songs that I go to most frequently, the first band that I ever went to see, in the first rock and roll band I ever went to see live, is a band called Boston. This was way back in like late 70s. Yes, I'm old. And I remember being in the arena, and maybe this is part of it, but like I was in awe of the crowd and the energy and the voices and the loudness and the clapping, like, the lasers and the smoke. And it was just so cool to me. And it was music that I already loved, but there's one song that they sing. It's on their second album. It's called Rock and Roll Band. And it is the story of how they, they started just, they were kind of sleeping in their cars. They were working all, only small local places. And then all of a sudden, as they started to gain popularity, people were waiting in line to see them. And then it kind of blew up. They got a record contract. And then they turned into like one of the biggest bands in the world at the time. And I love the song. It's like hardcore guitar. It's got, a really great drum beat, but I love the story. And it never really thought about it until I was kind of prepping for talking with you. And it's something maybe about that underdog thing. They started with a dream. They were doing something that they loved, doing it with people that they loved, and they were chasing that, elusive record contract. And that could be anything for any of us. But there's something about like that, that win that it goes all the way to the end. I can have an attitude adjustment in under 3 minutes anytime I listen to that song.
I love it. I love it. So it does have an adrenaline with an empath feel to it too.
It kind of does. I didn't think about that, but that's a great connection.
Yeah, even being in the concert, the way you described it was a combo.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, well spotted.
That was really cool. I love that. All right. What about books? What are your books that you love or have made a difference in your life?
I've read so many books over the years. I've been a lifelong learner, but there's one book that I can say truly changed my life. There is a book by a guy named Shad Helmstetter. He is a psychologist, and he wrote a book. It was many years ago when I read it initially. It's called What Do You Say When You Talk to Yourself? And it's all about self-talk. Somebody recommended, I know what it was. My parents had joined Amway. And, with that is a lot of personal development. And I wanted to be respectful of my parents, but I was like, all right, I'll read some books. And I remember there was a part in the book where he said, you know what, for 24 hours, just track what you say to yourself. Just don't worry about writing it down. Just notice what you're saying. And I was like, oh, I wouldn't talk to anybody the way I talk to myself. It was so negative and so frequent. And I was like, wow, where did that come from? And so, in the book, it's like, just notice. And the thing is, you can change your mind and stop that anytime you want. The next day, I was like 100% happier. And I've been on a journey about that since then. That book, honestly, is one of the biggest ones that impacted my life.
Wow. Yeah. Amway was a really great self-development world.
Yeah. I wasn't excited about it, but I wanted to support my parents.
Yeah. But what a development you had, right? From it.
Exactly. And that may be the reason that I was supposed to be involved, because I started learning a lot about personal development and gaining more confidence in what you do. It was great.
What about a quote or words to live by?
So I've been a big fan always of, there's a quote that Christopher Robin says to Winnie the Pooh. And people think, really? I'm going to read it so I make sure I get it correct. Promise me you'll always remember you're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. And as women, like I was talking about, that we forget that. We give that to our kids, our spouses, our friends, our family, but we don't necessarily reflect that back for ourselves. And so I would say the other thing is, for the entrepreneurs out there, I would say, stop waiting for permission to be the expert you already are. I'm saying this to myself as I say this to everybody else, because the evidence is already there. You just have to be willing to look at it and receive it. And I had a big moment about this drop just this past weekend for me. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I got it.
You own it. There you go.
Yeah.
It's yours.
Exactly. Exactly right.
Superpower for just 24 hours. The magic wand is coming out. I am in my godmother outfit and I am tapping the wand. What is it, the superpower that you want for 24 hours?
So I think the superpower that I would want for 24 hours, I have this ability, as I've managed people over the years, where I can see things in them before they can see it in themselves. And I help bring that out. And so I think for my superpower for 24 hours, I would want to be invited into a very large room full of female entrepreneurs who are at whatever stage they are building their business, taking things to the next level, and be able to put my hand on their arm or their shoulder, and for them to be able to see how great that they can become and what they can accomplish as soon as they embrace all that they are, all that they know, and trust it.
Oh, I'm going to tell you now, Michelle, you can come to any of our rooms and you can do that.
I wish I had that superpower, but as I get to know people, yeah, definitely. And I would want to just catch everybody in the room and hope it's a really, really big room.
And I can see you doing that, especially because you're an empath. I think you already have that inherent gift already.
Thank you.
But I mean, you would just want it more fine tuned, I can tell.
Right. Maybe be a little more succinct in it.
Yeah. Hyper focused. All right.
Exactly.
So, what is let's talk about motivation. All right. And motivation that actually comes on demand because you needed it right away. Something happened and you have to go speak on stage right after. What do you do to get motivated?
Oh boy, I guess every situation is going to be a little bit different, but sometimes motivation for something like that where you're going to need to focus, I need to find some place to calm a little bit. Other times, when I'm just kind of feeling spent, or I'm just really kind of like, but you still have to dig deeper. Sometimes I'll lean on friends, or I'll call a mentor and say, hey, this is what's going on. I need some help through this. So sometimes it's leaning on other people. Sometimes it's leaning on my faith. It just really depends on what the moment really demands. But I've learned over the years that trying to just solve everything on my own, sometimes it works, but sometimes you need to look outside,
Yeah. You need to look outside the scope and the realm of everything and see what's going on.
Right. Exactly. And then the last thing I would say is probably just going back to what I said previously, learning to trust that intuition, that you've got what you need. You just need to do the thing.
Do the thing. I like that. Do that thing. I think that's your motto. Most people just use the Nike slogan, just do it. But I love yours. Do that thing.
Yeah.
All right. You're going to have to take that and use that as a slang for yourself.
All right.
Do that thing. I like it. All right.
Do that AI thing.
Oh, that's cute. That's even cute. Write it down. You got to write that down. That is a cute one. All right. What is the best way for our audience to stay connected with you?
Probably the best thing to do is to find me on LinkedIn, or if they go on my website, which is aiedgeconsult.com. There's a contact form there, but I'm not a big social media hound, but LinkedIn, I'm on there pretty regularly. So that's a good place to connect.
Oh, yay. And I think you have a giveaway, don't you?
I do. So I have a book. It's called The Human AI Alliance, and it's something I wrote actually a little while ago, but it's all about for people who have been afraid to start with AI. It's giving you a little bit of an insight into what AI is and what it is, and how you can get started and how you can use it to empower your business and amplify your personal as well as your business value.
Wow. And how do they get that?
It's on my website as well. So if you just go to aiedgeconsult.com, you'll see a drop down products, and the book is there. And you can read about it. You can download a free copy. I also have a little podcast discussion of the book that's on there. There's a product that Google has called Notebook LM that does this 2-person podcast. So if you don't want to download it, but you want to just kind of get the gist of what the book is, you could do that too.
Yeah. I love Notebook LM. Oh my God. Isn't that cool? The podcast version that goes back and forth for you.
And it just gets better and better.
Uh-huh. So, okay. Final mic drop moment for our audience. What do you want to leave them with?
My goodness. I would say, let me think about this. I would say, all right, there's one more. There's a sticky note that I have on my monitor to remind me of something. And that is, I don't have to have all the answers. They'll come in their own time when I'm ready to embrace the truth. So surrender to the time that it comes.
Wow. That is so impactful. Read it again for them so they can understand that, because that is really, really impactful.
Yeah, thank you. I don't even remember what I was doing when it came to him. Like, oh, I need to write that down. So I don't have to have all the answers. They'll come in their own time when I'm ready to embrace the truth. Just surrender to the time that it comes.
Ooh.
I'm an overthinker. And if I can't see like where I'm headed or what the answers are, I tend to get a little bit anxious, and I'm just trying to get better about saying, okay, maybe now isn't the right time, but just listening for those moments. Yeah.
I love it. Michelle, I loved having you on here.
I've
You're
had a
amazing.
blast. Thank you. I've had a really good time. I appreciate it. And it's so great to be with you in particular. You're a fantastic interviewer.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. I hope you found inspiration, actionable tips, and a sense of connection with our incredible community of driven women. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share the episode with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to elevate their game. Remember, your success is just the beginning, and we're here to support you in every step of the way. Until next time, keep shining, keep thriving, and remember, you have the power to create the business and life of your dreams. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.